And here we are again for the final segment of the Ferrari 360. It's been a long way, over a month with this model, and a tortuous road, lots of step backs and challenges that I've discovered throughout this build. The first one was in the first step with the chassis, but that one was kind of a predictable one with painting the chassis, because it was the first time I was using zero paint semi-gloss black, and to be honest, it didn't convince me at all. Rough texture, it's more like a flat black instead of a semi-gloss one, so I'm really not very convinced. Second step back was with the interior, when painting the titanium bits. The main color started to peel off while using the masking tape. And the final step back, and this one you didn't know but you will now, was that I had, after finishing the body, I was assembling everything, and disaster happened. I was gluing all the clear parts, and I usually flipped the body and put it over some kind of cloth or anything similar, just to prevent any scratches in the finish. My mistake was that I was gluing the front windshield, and it has two slots in the lower part, but it doesn't have anything on the upper one. So what I did, I've glued the lower part with no problems, and then gluing the upper part, I've made the mistake of using Tamiya extra thin. So my idea was just to give it just a little tip of glue and let it do the rest. But the problem was that the windscreen was touching the cloth, so the glue went through the frame into the cloth, and then damaged my whole painting on the roof of the car. So I had no choice but to strip it and repaint everything from primer to clear coat. Anyway, it is now finished, and as usual, as a Tamiya kit, it looks wonderful. I mean, if you compare with the Cobra that I've made before, the Revel one, a Tamiya kit, when finished, looks much more realistic. I mean, the Cobra looks okay, it's nice, looks good in the end, but I've seen Ferrari 360s in real life, and I look at this one and it looks exactly the same, only 24 times smaller, but all the proportions, wheels, width, height, it's all perfect. I mean, it's like I'm looking at the real thing. So basically, I resume this project like this. The kit is flawless. I only have one issue, if you want to consider it an issue, is the assembly chassis body. It's not what you would call a strong one, because you need to glue the front to the chassis because it has no kind of slot or it doesn't snap in place. You need to glue it, otherwise it will be loose. The engine, let me see if I can make this viewable. The engine, perfect, I mean perfect, nothing to say. Everything goes together without any kind of effort. Even the exhaust system, which is kind of same engineering as Tamiya F1 cars. You have the headers and the whole exhaust till the back, and it fits perfectly. All things go together with no problems at all. So, detail of the car is magnificent, as always. It's something you expect from Tamiya. And looks good in the end. As I said in the beginning of this project, this is a kit that I've made in the past and I knew how good it was. Then we have the Hobby Design Photoetch. It's a very complete, very equal like the parts of the kit. The only situation you have is with the brake discs, but with so many parts, 15 by my count, one disc has 15 small metal parts, so it's very easy when building up those 15 parts that one of them doesn't get perfectly in its place. So when attaching the wheels you could feel some kind of obstacle in there. So I have to sand very lightly the disc so that the wheel could attach to the hub. Another thing, the Photoetch kit has some parts that you really can't use in the kit. I mean, you have the center console has a small plate that replaces the details, and this kit only has the semi-automatic gearbox, and the Photoetch kit has the same plate but with the option for a manual. And I mean, I don't know the 360 Spider from Tamiya, I don't know if it has the manual gearbox or not, but this one hasn't. So I really don't understand why making the Photoetch kit with that part. Another thing, I didn't use the bonnet from the Photoetch part because, as I said before, I wasn't feeling too comfortable cutting out this whole piece, because not only it's a curved piece, but also it isn't completely clean from the inside, so I really didn't want to take the chance, and I kept the stock one. Last thing, you probably noticed that almost every part or chrome part was stripped. The exhaust came out really nice because, as I said during the build, it's not that the chrome was not good, but it didn't look right, so I stripped and painted with AK Interactive polished aluminium. And then the wheels, also I have stripped them and paint them with dark aluminium. As you can see, it doesn't look very different from the regular one, but just enough so in a different angle or lighting you can see a different shade, and for me it looks very nice. So this is it for the 360 Modena. As you can see, I'm not a particular fan of the 360 Modena, but it looks gorgeous. Tamiya never disappoints. So it's the end for the Ferrari. Next project I will try to go to something a little simpler that doesn't take too long, and I hope you guys have enjoyed this build. Try to show you as much as I could, so hope to see you guys in the next project. Until then, take care and see you later.